Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hari Bol. Hare Krishna everyone. So we are doing Canto 6, Chapter 16, right? Yesterday you have finished up to Shloka number 36.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranams.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji.
Mataji, can you please, I'm sending you a chat. Please, you can read that, please.
Okay. Yeah, Mataji, I'll be waiting. Mataji, did you send?
Yes, Mataji, I did.
No, Mataji, I have not received. To Shubhangi Lalita, did you send to my number?
Mataji, here itself I've sent you in the chat.
Okay, here you are. Okay. Okay, fine.
One more small request.
Yeah, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
I'm sending in the chat. Just one out of whatever you covered today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, fine. Mataji, just one. I have sent you in the chat. Can you my message?
1 second. I'll just
Because I
read.
would like to connect to what they have been doing before.
Yeah, yesterday's session you can, and I have briefed out them the story till today, till last session.
Okay, Mataji, sorry, I think I missed something. I'm not in the group. Which story are you covering?
No, I just told everybody in what format we have been doing and what all we covered till now.
Okay. So that means it is yesterday only. It's a new group, and we have started yesterday only.
Yes, before
okay,
yesterday.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Okay, fine. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Okay. So sorry for this disturbance and delay. So now what I understand is that most of you are new devotees. Is it the first time you are attending any Bhagavatam class? Haribol?
Mataji, we've been attending Namnishta Das Prabhuji's class in the morning, Mataji.
Okay. But you know, but you know about Bhagavatam. What is Bhagavatam?
Stories of the Lord told by his pure devotees.
Okay, and who is reciting? Like who? This is a Bhagavatam is conversation.
Shukadeva is reciting to Parikshit Maharaj.
To Parikshit Maharaj, yes.
Mataji, we did this session on Thursday, last Thursday.
Okay.
I did
Fine.
not continue, and we just try to understand. So we can continue now. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, fine. Okay. So I think we can take the pastime. So we are supposed to take any pastime from the Bhagavatam, right? So,
No, we will continue with the shlokas. No problem.
okay, but we will not do the shlokas, right? We
Yes,
will not
yes, we are
recite the
going to do the
shlokas. We will do the
shlokas. Yes.
Bhagavatam. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That is fine. Okay. So all of you know, like if I connect to the last one, all of you know this Chitraketu story, the pastime of Chitraketu. Any Haribol? The king Chitraketu. Do you know the pastime for this king? Anybody? What did you do in the last class? Do you have any points to recollect?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
On Thursday, one Mataji had come and she gave us a brief explanation of the entire story.
Yeah.
And she gave us an outline of the story because that was the introduction class for us.
Right.
And yesterday, we had a Prabhuji who was teaching few slokas from Canto 6. And I am not sure about the verse number, but we saw 6 slokas yesterday.
32 to 36, Mataji.
Yeah. So yeah, the same thing. Yeah.
And
Okay.
that
Fine.
Mataji was, please mute yourself.
So we will continue from 37. We will not recite the shlokas, but we will try to shlokas today again. 37, 38, 39, 40, 41 and 42. Yeah, the shlokas are very nice, and these are the prayers of King Chitraketu to the Lord. See, in any scripture, the gem of any scripture is called its prayers. Prayers by the pure devotees. And Bhagavatam is known as Amal Puran. Why it is known as Amal Puran? Spotless Puran, because it is full of the stories of pure devotees of the Lord. And many pure devotees, Bhagavatam has prayers by the pure devotees. Kunti Maharani prayers, Bhishma Pitama prayers, Prahalad prayers, prayers by Dhruv, Gopi prayers. Similarly, this is the prayer by the Chitraketu. He is doing this glorification of the Lord. He's saying the prayers. And if these 6 shlokas, he is saying that how you are the most powerful, and how you are doing everything. Oh Lord, how are you the greatest of all? So we will read. I will just because there is no story in this one. Already you know the story, but we will study some parts of the purport which are very, very important. So we can do one thing. I can. From 37, first we can read all the translations so that we understand what King Chitraketu is trying to say. Okay, so we can read the translation. I would request everybody to read the translation. Who would like to read the translation? Sindhu Mataji, Sarv Gopeshwar Prabhu, Archana Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Ji, we will read the translation, because this is now, but the shlokas what we are covering, they are not having any story. They are having the prayers, and the prayers have the concepts. So let's read the translation, and then I'll try to explain the concepts small bit by bit. Okay, so let's read the translation.
Yes,
which Mataji? Okay, Mataji, can you please go ahead?
Yes, Mataji. Shall I start?
Yeah.
Haribol. Pranams, Mataji. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Text 37, 6.16.37, translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Every universe is covered by 7 layers: earth, water, fire, air, sky, the total energy, and false ego, each 10 times greater than the previous one. There are innumerable universes besides this one, and although they are unlimitedly large, they move about like atoms in you. Therefore, you are called unlimited, Ananta.
So here, how he is glorifying, how King Chitraketu is glorifying the Lord, that you are called Ananta. Ananta means unlimited, right? and how Lord is unlimited. So here he's explaining universe. What is the shape of the universe? Anybody has an idea what is the shape of the universe?
Like a anda, Mataji, egg.
Yeah, like an anda, like an oval shape, right? So if you think of a ball, visualize a ball in front of you. There is a covering of the ball. Similarly, universe also has a covering, but that covering is not one, that covering is 7 layers. And what are those 7 layers made of? Earth, water, fire, air, sky, total energy, and false ego. And then each layer is 10 times bigger than the previous one. Like for example, if Earth is 1 centimeter, hypothetically, water will be 10 centimeter, fire will be 100 centimeter, air will be 1000 centimeter. So you can see how big the covering is. First there is universe, the ball inside. Then there is covering, right? This is the size of one universe. And there are innumerable universes. Asankhya universe hain aise, right? So you see, there are so many balls in a room and the balls are so big. They move about like atoms in you. And all these, if someone is so big that all these big balls are just like atoms, very small. If you don't understand atom, visualize the seed of mustard. So these balls are like mustard seed within the stomach of the Lord. You are that limitless. So we see one universe is so big. There are innumerable universes, but within your stomach, each universe is like an atom. Okay. Does this make sense? And is it okay? Do you understand this thing?
Yes, Mataji. Within the body of Vishnu, the universe is actually, is it very small, Mataji, and then become big after it comes out?
Yes, then it becomes very big. And these innumerable universes are there in your body. You are keeping all of them. You are the resting place for all of them. And therefore you are Anant, you are unlimited. I will just share one screen with you. Can you just see this? This is how a universe looks like, right? So you can see these are the 10 layers. Can you see the 10 layers? I have highlighted them.
Yes, Mataji.
The first one is earth,
Yes,
then
Mataji.
water, then fire, then air, then ether, then mind, intelligence, and false ego. Here they are shown of the same proportion because there is a limitation of drawing, right? But in actual reality, each layer, the next layer is 10 times bigger than the first layer. So you see how complicated one universe is. Maybe millions of times, not millions, maybe hundreds of times we have tried to memorize it, learn about it, but still we are not able to do. It is so complicated just in this one screen. But think in reality how difficult it is, how complicated it is. But Lord is so big that innumerable universes are floating like atoms within. So he is called Anant. Okay. So you see, usually हम भगवान को कहते हैं आप आदि अनंत है, अनादि अनंत है, but अनंत कैसे हैं? This is explained in this shloka. This is how King Chitraketu is explaining that you are Anant. Yes, somebody has raised the hand. Do you want to ask something?
No, Mataji.
No, Mataji, for reading.
No, Mataji, for reading we read.
Just a minute, just 1 minute. Okay, I'm just sharing the screen again. Okay, so this is how Krishna is Anant. Okay, so let's go to text 37, the text 38. Okay, who raised the hand? Please, can please go ahead?
May I, Mataji?
Yeah,
Hare
sure. Yeah, sure.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Lord, O supreme unintelligent persons who thirst for sense enjoyment and who worship various demigods are no better than animals in human form of life. Because of their animalistic propensities, they fail to worship your lordship, and instead they worship the insignificant demigods who are but small sparks of your glory. With the destruction of the entire universe, including the demigods, The benedictions received from the demigods also vanish, just like the nobility when a king is no longer in power. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna. So King Chitraketu is saying that unintelligent persons, and what are the signs of the unintelligent person? They have thirst for sense enjoyment. They want to have sense gratification. By every mean, they want to satisfy their senses, and who worship various demigods are no better than animals in human form of life. Pashu Manav. They are animals in the human body because of their animalistic propensity. What is animalistic propensity? Why it is called that they have animalistic propensities? Can you, do you know what are animalistic propensities?
The four eating, sleeping, mating, defending, it's the same for humans and animals, but as humans, we have the special, this thing, Atato Brahma Jignasha.
Hari
We
bol,
have to
yes.
inquire.
Correct. So animalistic propensity is to satisfy my senses. And if we are satisfying those senses by worshipping the demigods and asking things from them, asking opulences from them to satisfy our senses, it is still animalistic propensity, right? So they fail to worship your lordship. Then who can do devotional service? Because in devotional service, we are not asking for our senses. We are asking for pleasure of Krishna. We want to satisfy the senses of Krishna. So if we fail to worship, if we are not worshipping Krishna, that means we are worshipping demigods, we are worshipping other things to satisfy our senses. We are just following our animalistic propensities. And people who are doing this, they are also behaving like animals. They might be in human body, but they are animal because they think about themselves. And that is why they fail to worship you. And instead they worship the insignificant demigods. And who are demigods? They are small sparks of your glory. Demigods are like administrators, right? Empowered administrators or managers. Just like in a company, you see, in a company, CEO has all the powers, but he cannot do everything, right? He doesn't do everything. He gives authority to different people. Okay, you are responsible for human resource, you are responsible for production, you are responsible for finance, you are responsible for employees. So, and those are the administrators or the managers, but they have limited power. HR will be dealing only in HR. Finance will be dealing only in finance. They cannot interfere in each other. And if anything comes beyond their scope or even within their scope, they go back to CEO to get the final permission. So similarly, Devtas have the same place. They are empowered administrators. Krishna has given them power to administer this material world. So someone is in charge of light, Surya Dev, someone is in charge of air, Vayu Dev, someone is in charge of fire, Agni Dev, but they are all empowered by the Lord. So they are only spark of your glory. That means if you think that Devtas are so powerful that they can fulfill all your desires, that is just a spark. Then think about the full fire, which is Lord himself, right? So the first thing is, those who worship demigods, they have animalistic propensities. That is why they fail to worship you. But those who worship you, they are not animal. They don't have animalistic propensities. Number two, demigods are sparks and your glory is complete and their glory is just a spark of your glory. And third is, whatever they receive from the demigods is temporary. Whatever benedictions we receive from demigods after so much of vrat, tapasya, path, puja, that is all temporary, and that also destroys when the universe destroys, right? So we understand the difference, that what is the difference between worshipping the demigods for our self-gratification, worshipping demigods for our sense gratification, and doing devotional service towards the lotus feet of the Lord. Okay. In the purport, there are two very important nice points. Bhagavad Gita 7.20, in Shloka 7.20, the same point told by Krishna to Arjun, Kamas tai sater hrita jnana prapadyante anya devata. Those whose minds are distorted by material desire, they surrender unto demigod, right? Those who are captivated by material desire and they want to have all type of money, opulence, every type of enjoyment, they surrender unto demigods. Because you see, we have different pujas and parts. If you want this, somebody wants good wife, if somebody wants good husband, if somebody wants money, if somebody wants fame, if somebody wants beauty, if somebody wants different things, there are different pujas are mentioned in the Vedas. So only people whose knowledge is captivated by material desire, they will be surrendering to demigods. Okay. So then what shall we do? Because still we are human being at the end of the day. We might have desires. So then this is a beautiful shloka. Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogen yajet purusham param. Beautiful shloka. If you have time, memorize this shloka. This shloka is beautiful. Whether full of all material desires, free from material desires, or desiring liberation, a person who has broader intelligence must by all means worship Supreme Whole, the personality of Godhead. Bhagavatam 2.3.10. Akama means if you don't have any desire. Who should worship the Lord? Demigods, those people worship who have desires. So then who should worship the Lord? Who should do the devotional service towards personality of Godhead? Akama, who does not have any desire, he should worship the Lord, number one. Sarva Kamo, one who has all type of desires, right? Even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Artharti, Arti, Jigyasu, Gyani, all. There are 4 types of bhaktas who worship me. So Sarva Kamo, if you have all type of desires, even then go to Lord. He is your father. As a child, we go to father only, right? Moksha Kama, and even there are people who don't desire anything material opulence, but they are desirous of liberation. So anybody who has desire of liberation, they should also go to Lord. But who will go? Udharadi. Dhi means buddhi. Udhardi means intelligent people. Those who are intelligent, they will go to whom? They will yajet purusham param. They will go to param purush. And how they will go? Tivren bhakti yogen. बड़े तीव्र भक्ति योग के साथ वो भगवान की भक्ति करेंगे. So this is a beautiful shloka to memorize and to apply. Sometimes we are not able, sometimes we are in distress, right? We are in distress and we pray to Lord that please remove our obstacles. Sometimes we need something in our life because at the end of the day we are human beings. So we need something we need something for our life or for our children, for our family. So even in such cases, it's better to go to Lord and ask. He's our Father. He knows what is best for us. See, between Devatas and Krishna, the basic difference is like a shopkeeper and a father. For example, if your child, small child, 5-year-old child, he goes to a shop and he tells shopkeeper, this is 5 rupees, 10 rupees, 50 rupees, please give me knife. Shopkeeper will give. Why? Because shopkeeper the business is to give and take. He will take the money and he will give knife. But as a mother, as a father, if your son, 5-year-old son or 5-year-old daughter ask for a knife, will you give? What do you think? You will give to him? No, you will not give to him.
No,
We used to educate them.
Yeah, you will not give to him because you are concerned about his safety. So maybe for the time being, he might think, oh my God, my father is not good, my mother is not good, they are not giving me any what I'm asking. But in their long-term benefit. So this is the difference between Devata and Bhagwan. So Devatas are like shopkeeper who will give whatever you ask, whether it is for your good or not for your good. But Bhagwan will give you whatever is for your benefit, and he will take those things away which are not good for you. Okay, so this is very, very important to understand this shloka. Is it clear? Anybody wants to say something?
Mataji, little confusing, Mataji. Like
Okay.
Krishna says, like, I will give you all the material things, right? You ask me. But at the same time, it's also mentioned in all the places that you should not desire for material.
Correct. See, that is the ultimate goal, that we should not desire, right? But what about in the beginning, when all of a sudden we cannot finish all our desires, right? Our desires are not finishing. Then what shall we do? You know the example of Dhruv Maharaj? Dhruv Maharaj, he did tapasya, right? He did the tapasya of the Lord. And what was his desire? Because he was insulted by his stepmother. So he had the desire that I should get a kingdom bigger than my father's kingdom.
Yeah.
So he did tapasya with this desire. And when Lord gave darshan, Lord said, ask Dhruv whatever benediction you want to ask. He said, I don't want to ask anything. I was asking for glass, but you have given me diamond by giving me your darshan. So that is the potency of Lord's bhakti and Lord's darshan, that even if we start with lots of desire, slowly, slowly, all the desires will finish when we are on the path of devotional service. That is why Krishna says, come to me with your desires, because he knows that I will finish your desires. Sometimes he will give, sometimes he will not give, but ultimately he will finish all your desires. So he knows the trick. Okay, does it make sense now, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Like I have heard once one proverb from one Mataji that Lord provides for everyone's need. No need to ask anything to the Lord,
Yogakshem,
but
yes,
not for
Yogakshem,
one's greed.
yes.
Yeah.
This is what Krishna deals with everyone the way devotees deal with him. Somebody who does not ask. As a mother, we know sometimes we have child who will not ask for anything. Even then we provide everything, right? The mother knows what he or she needs. There is a child who is very vocal, who will ask, Mama, mujhe khane ko ye chahiye, please make this thing for me. We do that also. So Krishna is like that mother. He knows all his children. Some children will ask, some children will not ask, some children don't even desire. So he has different children, but he says, don't go to others. Why? Because in this shloka only we have studied that if we go to demigods, what we will get will be temporary. Number two, what we are going to do, our sense gratification. But when we go to Krishna, it is not our sense gratification. Slowly Krishna removes that, all the material desires he removes from our mind, from our heart. Okay. Is this fine?
Yes, Mataji.
Can we go to the next one, text 39? Who is going to read the translation?
Mataji.
Yes, okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Text 39 translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. O Supreme Lord, if persons obsessed with material desires for sense gratification through material opulence worship you, who are the source of all knowledge and are transcendental to material qualities, they are not subject to material rebirth. Just as sterilized or fried seeds do not produce plants, living entities are subjected to the repetition of birth and death because they are conditioned by material nature. But since you are transcendental, one who is inclined to associate with you in transcendence escapes the conditions of material nature. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hari Bol. So Mataji, what was your question? That is being answered in this shloka also. O Supreme Lord, if persons obsessed with material desires, if somebody wants too much material thing for sense gratification through material opulence, they worship you. They come to Krishna. Krishna, I need money, I need no job, I need good family, I need good children. So all the material things someone is asking, and they worship you. They don't go to devatas, they come to you. You who are the source of all knowledge and who is transcendental to material qualities, they are not subject to material rebirth, just as sterilized or fried seeds don't produce plants. So that is the potency of the Harinam. So if someone fully desirous, full of material desires, even he approaches Krishna, even then you will finish their cycle of birth and death. How? We know what is the reason of our next birth. What is the reason of this cycle of birth of death? Why we are having
Desires.
Reactions to our karma.
Correct, due to our karmas. Karma, when whatever action we do, there is a reaction which is called karma phal, right? That means every karma is producing a karma phal. So a karma is compared to a seed. Like if you bow a seed in a pot, it is bound to give plant. Sometimes the plant does not come, but most of the time the plant will come, right? So karma is like that seed. If the seed is there, plant will come, and that plant is karma phal. Whenever there is a karma phal, there is a birth, a next birth, right? So we are in this vicious cycle. So how Krishna helps? When we are devoted to Krishna, when we surrender to Krishna, even with our heart full of material desires, because slowly Krishna removes all the desires. That is the potency of Krishna. That is the potency of Harinam and our heart. Because Krishna says, Krishna is Cheto Darpan Marjan. The moment we go to Krishna, we take the shelter of Krishna, immediately he says, okay, now it is my responsibility to clean your heart. Okay, he takes all the cleaning material, the cleaning products, and the bucket and the broom, and then he starts cleaning our heart. So when he's cleaning our heart, Kam, Krodh, Mad, Lobh, Moh, Matsar, all the 6 vices are removed. The first one is Kam. All the Kamnae, all the desires are removed. So Krishna takes upon himself that I have to remove everything which is dirty in your heart. Okay, so he is cleaning our heart. Okay, and when Krishna is taking the responsibility, be assured that he will make sure that we don't take birth again. And how he does that? Our karma becomes like a fried seed or sterilized seed. You can try at home also. Take some seed, take jeera or not jeera, dhania, coriander seeds, right? Coriander seeds, if you take and just roast them in a pan. Okay, when you roast them, after that you sow it in a pot. You will see no plant will come, because by roasting the seeds, the sprouting tendency, the sprouting potency of the plant of the seed is finished. Similarly, when we are doing anything, any action, but we are surrendering to the Lord, all those actions, they are sterilized. They are like now fried seed, roasted seed. No plant will come out of this. No karma phal will come out of this. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna calls this a karma. There are 3 types of karmas Krishna has told in Bhagavad Gita: karma, vikarma, and akarma. So what is akarma? Akarma is like sterilized seeds, roasted seeds, from which no plant can be sprouted. So similarly, our karma, when we offer all our karmas, we do all our karmas for the pleasure of Krishna, they become a karma. No karma phal will be accrued out of it. And when there is no karma phal, there is no next birth. This is how Krishna is removing all the desires from our heart. He's taking our heart of all the vices. And ultimately, we are doing all our karmas just for the pleasure of Krishna and not for our pleasure. And when we are doing that, we are assured that we will not go into this cycle of birth and death again. Okay?
Okay, Mataji. For that, we have to do this one, right? Sarva Dharman Parityagya Mam.
Sarva Dharman Parityaja. Yes, yes. Another is a more simple thing. You see this, the first one, 4.9 Bhagavad Gita, very common shloka, you know. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yoveti tatvataha tyaktva deham punar janma neti mameti Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental knowledge of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode. This is the same thing. Sarva dharman parityaja, leave everything. What shall you know? You shall know about my janma and karma. Now Janmashtami is coming on 7th of September. Krishna's janma is divya. Krishna's karmas are divya. How do we understand this? How we say that Krishna Janma is Divya, the birth of Krishna is, the appearance of Krishna is Divya, transcendental, beyond the material qualities. How do we say that? How do we understand this? Would anybody like to tell?
By knowledge, Mataji, from the scriptures, from Acharyas, we can get that knowledge. How Lord
Correct.
Krishna is born,
Right.
and what are his activities, what are his greatness.
Yes.
Then we will
Definitely, we should read the scriptures. We should listen from acharyas. We should listen from our shiksha gurus. We should listen and read, and then we know. But in simple words, if we want to understand that Krishna janma and karma are divya, evam yo veti tatvata, one who knows this by principle, tyaktva deham punarjanma, he is also free from punarjanma. Naiti mameti so Arjuna, he will never take birth again, and he will come to me, right? So how do we know Krishna's karma are transcendental? Can you give me some example of his pastimes, which is beyond human capacity?
Mataji, killing the demons who came to trouble the Vrajavasis and
Yes. Can you give me some example?
When he opens his mouth, we can see the whole universe in his mouth.
Exactly.
Govardhan Leela Mataji.
Govardhana.
Right.
Govardhan
So
Leela.
all these karmas are transcendental, right? You cannot expect a 7-year-old to lift any hill, even a small hill, a 7-year-old boy cannot hill. Nobody can show full Brahmand in the mouth, right? So this is the transcendental pastimes of Krishna. And how his Janma is transcendental, how do we understand that in Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 3, very nicely it is told, it is mentioned that Krishna appeared when the Rohini Nakshatra was there, and in the Krishna Paksha of Bhadrapad month, the Ashtami of Krishna Paksha of Bhadrapad month, Krishna appeared in the Karagar is what? In the jail of Kansa, from the heart of Devaki. He appeared from the heart of Devaki. It was not that he took birth like a normal human baby. He appeared from the heart of Devaki. And then Vasudev, when Vasudev saw the baby for the first time, the baby was having 4 arms. The baby was wearing a mukut, bangles, armlets, Shankh, Chakra, Gada, Padma, all he was decorated with all these things. So do you think this is a normal baby? When a normal baby is born, he looks like this? So this is how the transcendental birth of Krishna is mentioned in Bhagavatam in the Shastra. His karmas are mentioned, his activities are mentioned in the Shastras. And one who understands this by principle, what is the principle? Principle is that Krishna is ajanma, he is birthless, he is anant. This is the principle which what we have to understand, right? That means he is not like us. We are taking birth after birth. We are changing bodies after bodies under the law of karma. But Krishna, he has transcendental body and he does not take birth. He appears. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya ch dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. He appears in every millennium. Why? Because he wants to give pleasure to out of his own will, out of his sweet will, and with the help of his internal potency, he wants to give pleasure to his devotees. So this is simple, very simple thing. Just listen Harikatha. And you know, Harikatha, yes, and there is no doubt for us in that Harikatha. This is the simplest way to get rid of this cycle of birth and death. Because Krishna is giving us this guarantee in Bhagavad Gita. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti swarjuna. So now Janamashtami is coming. Today is 22nd of August. 31st is Balram Jayanti. 7th is Janamashtami. 23rd is Radhashtami. This full month, read Bhagavatam, read Pastimes of Krishna, listen to Bhagavatam Katha. All of you are in India, you have temples in your city. Go to temple and go to ISKCON temple, listen to the Bhagavatam Katha, listen to the Pastimes of Krishna. Immerse yourself in listening the Hari Katha. This is a sure, short way if we want to get rid of the cycle of birth and death. Though this should not be our aim should be Krishna Prem. But Krishna is giving this guarantee that when you understand, when you know my transcendental pastimes and transcendental birth, you will never get birth again. So how simple way Krishna has told, right? Okay, is this fine? Is this okay? So can we go to the next one? Text number 40. If anybody has any doubt, any realization, anything you want to say, please, you are most welcome to tell. Okay, so who will read text 40? Next, Shloka.
Shall I, Mataji?
Yeah, sure. Please.
Translation by Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. O unconquerable one, when you spoke about Bhagavata Dharma, which is the uncontaminated religious system for achieving the shelter of your lotus feet, that was your victory. Persons who have no material desires, like the Kumaras, who are self-satisfied sages, worship you to be liberated from material contamination. In other words, they accept the process of Bhagavad Dharma to achieve shelter at your lotus feet. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dhanvi Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. And now he's King Chitraketu is saying something which is little high level. He's saying, when you spoke about Bhagavad Dharma, just now Mataji told Sarva Dharman Parityajya. There are many type of dharma. Istri dharma, pati dharma, pita dharma, putra dharma, and so many dharmas also. But which is the uncontaminated religious system? But all of them are contaminated. All of them have some flaw. Only Bhagavad Dharma has no flaw. This is the uncontaminated dharma, right? So the bhakti, the pure devotional service at the lotus feet of the Lord, this is Bhagavad Dharma. What is Bhagavad Dharma? Now we have to understand what is Bhagavad Dharma. I am the eternal servant of the Lord. This is Bhagavad Dharma. What is my position? I am the servant and I have to serve Krishna. I have to do everything for the pleasure of Krishna. If we understand these 2 points, number 1, I am the eternal servant of the Lord. Okay, so what you have to do? I have to serve Krishna. This is Bhagavad Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma is the supreme. Bhagavad Dharma is mentioned elaborately in Shastras, but we have to understand with the mercy of Prabhupada, just 2 lines if you understand. I am the eternal servant of the Lord and I have to serve Krishna with all my resources, with all my senses. I have to serve him and I have to do everything for his pleasure. This is Bhagavad Dharma, and this is the uncontaminated religious system. This is the pure bhakti. Okay, this is the pure bhakti. In the purport, if you see, there are 3 shlokas. Yeah, and all the 3 shlokas are very, very good. This is from Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Maybe you must have heard this shloka. This is also very nice shloka. Anya bhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulena krishnanu anushilanam bhaktir uttama. What is pure devotional service? What is Shuddha Bhakti? Many times you must have heard in the classes, in the lectures, you must have read. So this shloka in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, it is mentioned what is Uttam Bhakti, what is pure Bhakti. One should render transcendental loving service to Supreme Lord Krishna favorably, without desires for material profit or gain, through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure Bhakti. What is pure Bhakti? Anya abhilashita shunyam. What is shunya? Zero. Anya abhilashita. Any other desire should be zero. In our heart, all other desires should be zero. Gyan karma adi anavritam. And whatever we are doing, right? Whatever is our desire, they should be anavrit, means they should be uncovered, right? They should be uncovered from gyan or karma. If you see Bhagavad Gita, there is karma yoga, there is gyan yoga. So sometimes we are doing the same activity, but the intention is gyan, to get the knowledge. The intention is to get karma phal. So the same, like we can do puja of the Lord, right? For example, Ekadashi Vrat, I can say. Ekadashi Vrat we all are doing, right? But if we have Anya Bhilashita Shunyam, there is no desire, just for the pleasure of the Lord, I am doing Ekadashi Vrat, then it is pure bhakti. But if it is, because if you see Ekadashi, it is a Vrat and it has a phal also. If you do this Ekadashi, you will see there are stories. If you do this Ekadashi, you get, this is the result you will get. So if something of that sort comes in my heart, I am doing this Ekadashi, I am doing Nirjala Ekadashi, I am doing Param Ekadashi, I am doing all Ekadashis in the year. Krishna, please remove my problems. Please give this thing to me. Please, I have a lot of problem in my office. My son is facing so much problem. My daughter is not getting married. So what happens? This is karma phal ki ichha. So it's a karma adi karma. It is covered by karma phal ichha, right? So that means the same activity, but it is now covered by karma. Similarly, something can be covered by jnana also, because I'm reading Bhagavad Gita. What is my intention? You are reading Bhagavad Gita. You are attending Bhagavatam classes, but the intention is not fully to get the love of Krishna, for the pleasure of Krishna. I want to have knowledge. I want to know what is in the Bhagavad Gita, because I want to tell in front of others that I have read Bhagavad Gita. I know Bhagavatam. So then that means that desire is somewhat covered by jnana. But our desires should be completely bereft of jnana and karma. Anukulena Krishnanu, Krishna. And everything should be favorable to Krishna. Whatever Krishna likes, I have to do that. Right? Whatever Krishna likes, I have to do that. A very good example of this is Damodar Leela. Yashoda Maya is tying Krishna, right? Now we cannot say, oh, Yashoda Maya is taking a stick and running behind Krishna. She wants to beat Krishna. No. She's the enemy of Krishna. Do we say so? No. Yashoda Maya is Krishna's mother, and Krishna is enjoying this thing so much that Yashoda Maya is running after me with the stick in her hand. He enjoys so much that she's trying to bind me, and every time the rope is getting short, right? This is Anukulena Krishna, favorable to Krishna. It is giving so much pleasure to Krishna, right? Anushilanam. And then next is, so first is Anyabhilashita Shunyam. Number 2, it should not be covered by jnana or karma. Number 3, it should be favorable to Krishna. And number 4, Anushilanam. Very, very important. In Bhakti, Anushilanam. Anushilanam means follow the footsteps. Don't think, today I saw something on YouTube, I will do like this only. मैं तो ऐसे ही पूजा करूंगी. मैं तो ऐसे ही भगवद गीता पढ़ूंगी. Because I saw this on the YouTube video. Because one of my friends, she told me. Because my mother was doing like this. Because somebody told me like this. Anushilanam means follow the footsteps of acharyas. Follow the footsteps of Guru Parampara. Bhaktir Uttama. This will lead us to Shuddha Bhakti. This shloka, just like I told the previous shloka, this shloka is also for memorization and application. That this is what? Uttam Bhakti. Okay. So this is Bhagavad Dharma, which is mentioned here in the in the translation. Then another book is Narad Pancharatra. That also tells about Uttam Bhakti. Sarva Upadi Vinir Muktam Tat Partven Nirmalam Rishikesh Sevanam Bhaktir Uchyate. Again, Bhaktir Uchyate. What is Bhakti? Bhakti, what is Bhakti called? One should be free from all material designation, cleansed of all material contamination. He should be restored to his pure identity, in which he engages his senses in the service of proprietor of the senses. That is called devotional service. This shloka, the most important line is Rishikesh Sevanam. We should serve the Rishikesh with all Rishi. Rishi is our senses, right? Why Krishna is called Rishikesh? Because Rishi means senses and Ish means Lord. He is the Lord of everyone's senses. So that is why he's called Rishikesh. So we should serve the Rishikesh with our Rishis, which is Rishik, which is our senses. That is Bhakti Ruchyate. And what are the previous things? Sarva Upadi Vinir Mukta. Get rid of all the Upadis. I am a female, I am a male, I am Indian, I am PhD, I am a doctor, I am an engineer. All these are Upadis in this material world. Get rid of all these Upadis. Tat Partven Nirmalam. And one should be completely nirmal, free of all material contamination. And in such a situation, one should serve Krishna with all his senses. That means we are engaging all our senses in the service of Krishna. We are not stopping our senses, right? We are not stopping our senses. We are utilizing our senses in the seva of Krishna. How can we utilize our senses in Krishna's service? Anybody can give example?
By dovetailing all our activities to Krishna, by keeping the center.
Yeah.
Chanting the holy names, Mataji.
Again.
We can walk to the temple. We can use our legs.
Yes. This is what I was looking for. Give me specific answer, like how we can use our legs. Walking up to the temple, going to Tirth Yatras, doing the Padyatra in the Tirth Yatras. How can we use our eyes in Krishna's service?
Ambrish Maharaj, example, Mataji.
Yes. Ambrish Maharaj is 100% perfect example how he used all his senses. With eyes, look at the Archa Vigraha of Krishna. When we go to the temple, take your own sweet time. Start from the feet, then go up, and then take the darshan of the lotus face of the Lord. So use your eyes to taking the darshan of Vigraha. Your hand in the puja, use them in puja, use them in cleaning the temple, use them in doing paraphernalia, arranging the paraphernalia for puja. This is how think of any sense and do something related to Krishna with that sense, whether it is eyes, whether it is tongue, whether it is hand, whether it is feet, whether it is nose. Okay. So these are the two shlokas which tell what is Bhagavad Dharma, what is Shuddha Bhakti. Okay. Is it okay? Is it fine? I hope everyone is able to understand.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
so Haribol. So can we go to text 41? Okay, please go ahead, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Dandavat pranam, Mataji.
Yeah.
So translation by Srila Prabhupada. Being full of contradictions, all form of religion, but Bhagavad Dharma work under conception of fruitive results and distinctions of you and I and yours and mine. The followers of Srimad Bhagavatam has no such consciousness. They are all Krishna consciousness, thinking that they are Krishna's and Krishna's is theirs. There are other low-class religion systems which are contemplated for the killing of enemies or the gain of mystic power. But such religious system, being full of passion and envy, are impure and temporary. Because they are full of envy, they are full of religion. Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat pranam. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. Now this is very, very subtle concept, which sometimes we try to understand, but still we are not able to understand. See, all other forms of religion, they are full of contradictions. Here, religion doesn't mean Hindu religion, Muslim religion, Sikh religion, Christian religion. No. Abhi humne baat ki dharma, Bhagavad Dharma, and there are other dharmas also. Like we said, there are so many things. We say this is my Matri Dharma, Pitri Dharma, Putra Dharma, Istri Dharma. Then someone's faith is this faith, that faith, this sampradaya, that sampradaya, we see all around, right? But everything full of contradiction except Bhagavad Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma is pure. All other dharmas have this you and I, this is yours, this is mine. But Bhagavad Dharma, where a person sees himself as the servant of the Lord. I am the servant of the Lord, you are the servant of the Lord, the servant of the Lord. Everyone is servant of the Lord. So we all are equal. We all are, right? We all are servant of the Lord, and there is one Lord, and we all are his servant. So where is you, yours, and mine? Nowhere, right? So Srimad Bhagavatam teaches us Bhagavad Dharma, the pure Bhagavad Dharma, right? And followers of Srimad Bhagavad Dharma have no this consciousness of yours and mine. They are all Krishna conscious, thinking that they are Krishna's and Krishna is there. We all are servant of the Lord, and Lord is our Swami. There are other low-class religious systems which are contemplated for the killing of enemies. If you don't follow my religion, I'll kill you, right? Because I have to gain some control over you. I have to gain some siddhis. I have gained some power, some mystic powers. All these religious systems which are full of passion and envy, clearly, and this is who is telling this? Chitraketu. He is telling, King Chitraketu is telling this. They are impure and temporary. Only Bhagavad Dharma is pure and permanent. And what is Bhagavad Dharma? I am the eternal servant of the Lord, and I have to serve the Lord. This is the Bhagavad Dharma. Okay, does this make sense? And what is Bhagavad Dharma? We have done 2 shlokas, that we have to serve Krishna faithfully. We have to serve Krishna with all our senses. So anybody who has this consciousness is in the consciousness of Bhagavad Dharma, and Bhagavad Dharma is pure and permanent. Okay. And we will, this last paragraph, very beautiful point is there. Bhagavad Dharma is called Sarva Utkrisht. Sarva Utkrisht is the best. There may be religions which are branches of religions, which have impurities, which have other things. But the best one is Bhagavad Dharma, because those who follow Bhagavad Dharma are not envious of anyone. It's very, very important. Okay? They will not be envious of any person, whether he belongs to any caste, any creed, any nationality, any faith. They will not be envious of. Just like we say, there is Uttam Adhikari. So those who follow Bhagavad Dharma, they are the Uttam Adhikari. Right? Okay. So we will go to text 42. Who will read text 42?
Shall I, Mataji?
Okay, Mataji, please go ahead. Okay.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. How can a religious system that produces envy of oneself and of others be beneficial for oneself and for them? What is auspicious about following such a system? What is actually to be gained by causing pain to one's own self due to self-envy, and by causing pain to others, one arouses your anger and practices irreligion. Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranams.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. So the line, the first line, how can a religious system that produces envy of oneself and of others be beneficial for oneself and for them? That means if anybody is following a religion which teaches this is yours, this is mine, mine is better, yours is less, and then we get into passion, we get into envy, we get into killing, this will not help the followers, and this will not help anybody else. Okay? And if we follow this type of religion, we are not going to gain anything. Because if we give pain to someone just to follow our religion, that is irreligion. That is not at all religion. We cannot give pain to anyone. Okay? In the purport, Prabhupada has given very nice example of animal sacrifices. It says, leave about human, giving pain to any human being. Even if we are giving pain to any animals in the name of animal sacrifices, Bali, right? We all know the pratha of Bali, that there are some systems of Bali in some temples and in some faith. Such animal sacrifices are inauspicious both for the performer and for the animal. Although one is sometimes permitted to sacrifice an animal before the goddess Kali and eat it instead of purchasing meat from a slaughterhouse, Permission to eat meat after a sacrifice in the presence of Goddess Kali is not the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is simply a concession for the miserable person who will not give up eating meat. It is meant to restrict his desire for unrestricted meat. Such a religious system is condemned. Therefore, Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. This is the last religion. So Krishna says, leave all other religion. This Veda says this book says this person says this faith says this leader says this. People are saying so many sermons. Leave everything. The last word in religion is Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Aham tvam papebhyo mokshashyami ma shucha. I will relieve you all of your sins. So you no need to go here, there, everywhere. You come to me. Again, Krishna is giving guarantee and calling all of us with open arms. Come to me. I will relieve you all of your sins. So we have to be very, very careful if we are on the path of Krishna consciousness. If we say that we are following the principles of Krishna consciousness, and if we are serving the Lord, if we are doing the devotional service to the Lord, we have to be very, very careful that we should not be the cause of pain to anyone. No animal, no human being, and that pain can be by our action, by our words, by our mind also. Mansa vacha karmana. So we have to be very careful even when we are speaking to someone. It should not, our words should not cause pain to anyone. Deeds, definitely, we have to be very, very careful, not hitting anybody, not killing anyone. And even in our mind, we should not be envious or angry with someone, because that also causes pain to other person. So that means we are deviating from the path of Krishna consciousness. So this is very, very, very important for us. Okay. Now I will read the last shloka of this purport. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Shloka 8 is Dharma Svainushtita Punsa Vishvekshan Kathasuyo Notpadyed Yadiratim Shram Evahi Kevalam. Duties or dharma executed by men, regardless of occupation, are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of Supreme Lord. Following a system of religion that does not awaken one's Krishna consciousness or God consciousness is merely a waste of time and labor. Dharma, one meaning of dharma is prescribed duties also. The duties which we are doing from day to night, as mother, as wife, as daughter, as employee, as husband, as son, we all are doing to take care of our household duties, to take care of our family, take care of our children, our parents, to go to office and do the duty there. All this is also under dharma, right? Varna ashram dharma, right? So if a person is saying that, okay, I am doing my duties, but while doing the duties, Notpadya yadi ratim, if those duties are not increasing love for Krishna, then what are those duties? Shram evhi kevalam. They are only parishram. You are only doing work like a donkey. That's it. Whatever you are doing in your daily duties, that should also increase your love for Krishna, right? That should awaken Krishna consciousness in you. So that means we should center all our activities around Krishna. Even if you go to office, do the work and you should think of Krishna. Okay, whatever salary I will get, I will spend this much. Maybe I will give this Janamashtami, I will donate this much. I will sponsor the Prashadam. I will distribute Bhagavad Gita. This is how I am going to utilize my salary, which I am going to get with the mercy of Krishna. This is how you can make your job Krishna-centered. Okay, whatever I'm cooking at home, I have to make this thing on Balram Jayanti. I have to make this thing from devotees. I have to cook this prasadam, this chappan bhog on Janmashtami. This is how you can make your kitchen Krishna-centered. Then you are doing shopping. Think of Krishna. If I buy this, I think Krishna will like this. I have to buy this thing for altar. I have to buy this thing for my home because it's not my home. It is Krishna's home. So all your activities should make you more Krishna conscious. If they don't make you Krishna conscious, then you should be very clear that you are only doing parishram. You are doing only useless labor, okay? And that is not going to take you anywhere. Okay? Hari Bol Mataji, very nicely, sweetly you are singing Hari Bol. Okay, so we will conclude. So we have completed our 6 shlokas here. So I will conclude the class. But before concluding, I would like to ask any question you want to ask, anything you want to share, any realization you want to say. Please, you are most welcome.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Ji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Mataji, I want some clarification regarding non-envious.
Yes.
In the Krishna consciousness, as far as we were in Krishna consciousness, definitely I do agree. We will able to manage without envying others. Even though in our house or in society or in workstation, we used to face some problems like, and forcibly we used to envy them.
Yeah.
At that time, how we can able to manage that, and we have to escape from that situations, from that
Yes.
persons.
Yeah. Hari Bol Prabhu, this is very nice question, and
Hare
we all
Krishna
face
Mataji.
this. Yeah, we all face this. Why? Because see, at the end of the day, we are all human beings, and human beings, like the most important thing, the most powerful thing in us is our mind, and mind is full of kam, krodh, mad, lobh, moh, matsar, and this matsar is envy. Now, what is the practical thing? See, we say we all are part and parcel of Krishna, right? Hum sab Krishna ke ansh hain. So I am also ansh, you are also ansh. We all, and हम सबके अंदर कौन है? We are all souls and super soul. To feel this enviness towards anybody, you should think, oh, Krishna is sitting in his heart also. How can I be envious to Krishna? Because same Krishna is sitting in my heart, same Krishna is sitting in my heart. Can you be envious to Krishna? Being envy to anybody who is part and parcel of Krishna is equal to being envious to Krishna. So can we be envious to Krishna? We cannot be, right? So don't think how the other person is behaving to me. See, we have to check our behavior. We cannot be responsible for everyone. We have to check our behavior. I have to be responsible for myself. It is my commitment to Krishna that Krishna, I want to spend this life in your service, and I want to be away from all the vices. So you have to check your thoughts. You have to check your mind. So whenever, it's not that this thought will not cross your mind. This thought will cross your mind, but you have to. You don't have to water that thought. Okay. BG
Hare Krishna
6.30. Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
I was listening one lecture and I heard in that one that if we put Krishna in a center, like if we do anything, or if we see anybody, like if we see as a that she is a or he is a Krishna's devotee, so we cannot do any offense like that. And I was listening one lecture that one Anita Shamini Mataji, she was saying whenever she go out of the house and she said everything. Whenever she sees something, Krishna Arpanam, Krishna Arpanam. So she made a habit of that in her life. So whenever we do something, we first say Krishna Arpanam. So we don't do, or we don't get into in the negative things, or we don't do any offense, or we don't get like wrong things or any
Yes.
envious things.
Yes,
Mataji.
yes, Mataji. We have to, it comes with practice. We have to develop this habit of seeing everyone as Krishna's devotee. There might be people who are Krishna devotees. There might be people who are not Vaishnavas. But we have to see everybody as Krishna's part and parcel. Oh, he's also child of Krishna. He's also child of Krishna. And Krishna is sitting in everyone's heart. So when you will develop this vision, in Bhagavad Gita also this is no Vidya Vinay Sampanne. Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmane. I forgot Gavi Hastini. Gavi Hastini. Yeah. Pandita Samdarshana. So this is Pandita Samdarshana. We cannot be Pandit so quickly, but we have to develop this habit. We have to work on this habit that it becomes, we have to work on this practice so that it becomes our habit to see everybody with equal vision. And that equal vision is what? That there is soul in everyone and there is super soul in everyone. Krishna is sitting in everyone's heart. This will definitely, this is a sure short way, and it will definitely reduce your enviness, your anger towards somebody, your pride. All these feelings will be subdued.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I have one question, Mataji. Actually, so we are talking about Panditas Mataji. So once we practice and then we'll be able to do. So what about neophytes Mataji? Says they will be doing so many aparats without knowing about them. So even the people who doesn't come into Krishna conscious or when they don't know, when they don't have the knowledge of Krishna consciousness, they'll be doing so many aparas. So what will happen to them, Mataji? So
when we were not in Krishna consciousness, we were also doing, right? And when we come into Krishna consciousness, now we know the things, but even maybe knowingly, unknowingly, we are still doing aparad, right? But at least we are aware and we say to Krishna, Krishna, please give us strength that we don't do this aparad. But those people who are not in Krishna consciousness, we can only pray for those souls to Krishna, that Krishna, please give shelter of your lotus feet to everyone. We can't do anything directly for those people, but yes, we can definitely pray for everyone to Krishna. And the neophyte devotees, they are not in such a bad situation. Why? Because they are already under the shelter of Guru Parampara, and later and sooner they will come to know that how they have to beware, they have to save themselves from all these aparads. So neophytes, they will be like, it is a matter of time. They will definitely understand that, okay, we don't have to do the aparad. But for those people who are not the devotees, who are still not on the path of Krishna consciousness, we should all pray to Krishna. That's why it is said that when we are doing chanting, do chanting little louder, because we don't know how many souls are around us. And this Harinam Dhwani can do benefit of so many people. So we should chant for those people. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Can I ask one more question, Mataji?
Sure, Mataji.
So when we chant 16 rounds, right now I'm chanting 16 rounds, Mataji. So when we want to dedicate to someone else, or just what, as you said right now, that we have to think about all others. So when we think of others, so does the 16 rounds come for us, or we have to do separate rounds, Mataji?
Separate, additional. Those 16 rounds is our commitment to our Guru Maharaj. So whatever we want to do for others, it might be your family members, it might be your friends, it might be somebody who's in distress, who needs chanting, it might be, just like we said, for general human race, it should be over and above your 16 rounds.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. So it is 7. Yes, Mataji.
Just one question, Mataji. I was wondering about Sarvadharma Parityajam. But Mataji, we have to do our duty as a mother, as a wife, and our occupations. But keeping with Krishna in the center. But how can we Sarvadharman Parityajam? We can do Mataji.
Right.
And when we should.
Yeah. Sarva Dharman Parityajya, Krishna says at the end of the Bhagavad Gita that if you reach to that level, that you leave all the dharmas and you come to my Sharanagati, that does not mean that you don't do the work. That means that whatever you are doing, you come to my shelter, you come to my lotus feet. Whatever you are doing, you surrender to me. Do your things and don't take shelter of those dharmas. Take shelter of me, but you do your work, you do your duties. See, in normal life, what we are doing, because I am qualified, I am doing this job, my post is very high, so I have very much confidence that, okay, I can give good education to my children. That means I'm taking shelter of my job. I'm taking shelter of my knowledge. I'm taking shelter of my position. I need not to worry. I can settle my children very nicely. This is what Krishna is saying. Don't do that. Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Take my shelter. Do your job. Do your work, settle your children, do their marriage, everything you have to do. But whose shelter you have to take, whose ashray you have to take, kiska sahara lena hai, mera sahara lena hai, unka sahara nahi lena. But if you see in the society, we have, if anybody has a position, if anybody has money, we say, arey uska bahut vasta hai, wo uska kaam ho jayega. That means we are taking shelter of those things. We are taking ashray of those things. We should not take that. We should take shelter of Krishna, and whatever we have, it's the mercy of Krishna. Krishna, you have given all these things to me. I am going to use all these things for you.
Yeah, this I know in knowledge, Mataji, but so in practice, I don't know what to do, Mataji.
You mean to say in practice?
Every time I have to think of Krishna.
Again, Mataji, I could not understand your...
Like I know this knowledge, but while doing works, Mataji, I may not think of Krishna, Mataji. I may not have that time also.
Correct, correct. You are right.
How to practice it, Mataji?
Yes, you have to make conscious effort. It's not only you. All of us are same. When we are doing our work, sometimes we are so much thinking only about work, what to do next,
Yes,
that we don't think about Krishna, right?
Mataji, Hare Krishna. Last line of the purport Prabhupada is given. Very beautifully, Mataji.
The same shloka.
One may be perplexed as to how can one give up all kinds of religion and simply surrender into me, but such worry is useless. The particular words used here is Ma Suchaha, don't fear, don't hesitate, don't worry.
Yeah. Ma Shucha is the same thing, that don't think so many things, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do. You can just surrender to me, rest I will take care of you. So if you are saying that right now you are not able to think about Krishna, you make conscious effort. Daily you get up and tell Krishna, Krishna, I want to think about you. Please, you arrange how I can think about you.
Okay.
He will do it. See, bhakti is very, very sublime and very, very easy. Don't take responsibility of anything. Give responsibility to Krishna. Give responsibility to him for everything. Krishna, I want to chant. Please wake me up in the morning. Krishna, I want to remember you. Please help me doing that. Krishna, please, you can make me serve you. You can give me health. You can give me financial resources so that I can serve you. So it is up to you. You have to see how I have to serve you. I want to do this. Please give me, help me. So Krishna is going to do everything. Give responsibility to Krishna. Don't take responsibility for anything. Ma Shucha, why I am thinking? Why you are thinking? No need to think. That's why bhakti is called the easiest and the most potent.
Yeah, this conscious effort I will try to make, Mataji.
Conscious effort.
So much,
Yes. Okay. Okay, Hare Krishna. So it's 7:43. I think we have crossed the time. So, but I really enjoyed your question answers. If anything, any question or anything, maybe tomorrow you can ask. Okay, so we will conclude the session. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.